Yo, what's going on, good people? Foots here, and it's mock draft time. Nah, really. So it's mock draft time. The combine is over. What a great combine. DBs, wide receivers, O linemen. You just were like, wow, like these kids are really taking their craft serious. I'm a musician, so I like to see kids who want to work at it, want to get better. Think about Saquon Barkley. He didn't have to come in and really demolish the combine like he did, but you can tell that from the minute he hung up the cleats, he had been working. Got a bunch of notes on this mock draft. It's a 2-round mock. Just excited to talk about it because I'm a tape guy, but the combine is a time for fans, for GMs, for talent evaluators to really go ahead and you want to stamp what you see on tape. Does a guy play slow on tape? Does he have bad hips as a secondary player? Can he separate? What's his speed like? What's his long speed like? Is he a quicker than fast guy? You think about Antonio Brown, he didn't really run the fastest 40, but he was extremely, extremely quick. Here goes a question. Let's think about Derwin James' long speed, but then his 3-cone wasn't the best. Derwin James is still my top safety, but that's just an example of what these evaluators are doing when they go back to Pittsburgh, when they go back to Cleveland, when they go back to San Diego, Lord. When they go back to LA, the Rams and the Chargers. When they go back to Dallas. Now we got to start putting guys where they belong. And mock drafts, post-combines, Senior Bowls, it's all just a tool. It's all just an exercise for when that day comes in April when you got to turn in your card. So with all that said, I'm going to hit my first round. I'm going to hit my second round. Now, if you're new to the channel, you may know that I am a musician. All the Cowboys fans in here know that I'm a musician. So give me 30 seconds of your time. I just dropped a new visual. I need you guys to go like. I need you guys to go share. I need you guys to go to the link in the description box. Go blow up the comments on the new visual. Here goes 30 seconds of it real quick.
It just feels right. We were so bright.
Word.
In the moonlight.
See, you got your own philosophy. Surrounded by that darkness, you can't tell what's real apart from me. Man, these social networks is your policy. Ignore the world and follow me. You'll find yourself inside of me. Man, I guess that's why you here in front of me. Honestly, I was made to love you. It's written in the prophecies. Man, it's more to you than what the eye can see. Your shadow shining bright, but we...
And just like that, we're back. So, if you guys can sit through a 30-second ad on Spotify or a 30-second ad on YouTube, you can watch that and go show some love. Now, here it is. Here go the notes. Let's get right to it. Here goes the first round. So, initially, I just went with Saquon Barkley, and there's no reason not to. Best player in the draft, and I know Cleveland has this history of passing on great quarterbacks. The problem is, in this draft, I don't see a guy... I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. The world may not be, but I don't see a guy that is worthy of a #1 overall selection, and the only player who is Saquon Barkley. You see what he did at the combine, but you see it on tape. You see LT. He's LT, and I don't say that lightly. Like, if there is a can't miss prospect, now everybody's gonna say Kajana Carter because they both went to Penn State. No, like, Saquon Barkley is as close to can't miss. And not only is he can't miss, but listen to him talk. Listen to him articulate things. Listen to how focused he is. He's not looking down. He doesn't look shady. He doesn't look Nah, he's serious. He's about his business. You could tell the way that he came into the combine. It was a business trip for him. He wasn't on joke time. He came into the combine like, yo, I'm here to destroy every running back here. And he did just that. Think about what Ty Gurley has done for the Rams. Think about what Ezekiel Elliott has done for his team. Think about what Leonard Fournette has done for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, yo, if I would have told you this time last year that Jacksonville would be in the playoffs with Blake Bortles, you would have said how. I would have, and now we see is Leonard Fournette mixed with, Jalen Ramsey, mixed with Miles Jack panning out, mixed with Telvin Smith running sideline to sideline. So, if the Browns have a plan, John Dorsey, his golden rule was and is draft good football players. This team hasn't had talent. That's what that's what his motto, that's what he's saying. Well, if you're saying that, John Dorsey, don't make it difficult. If you pass on Saquon Barkley, you're going to regret it because this team, and if I'm Hugh Jackson, this team doesn't have time to wait. They don't have time to develop. Hugh Jackson, you got to start winning games. There's no more one-win seasons. Another one-win season, everything's getting blown up. Coaching staff, all of it. So I know that was a rant, but to me, you got to go Saquon here. It's the safest pick. Look, moving on to the New York Giants, I think that Pat Shurmur, when you're a new head coach, you're married to your quarterback. I think that Josh Allen, while I'm not a huge Josh Allen fan, he goes to the combine, he throws 70 yards, he shuts the place down. I think, and you read things, I was just reading over here that Josh Allen and Pat Shurmur have a decent relationship. So I think that if Saquon's not there, you got to go quarterback. Eli, he's digressed. He's not getting any better. I think that for Pat Shurmur, he's married to his guy. He did not draft Eli Manning. So I think that the pick there makes a lot of sense. Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. Indy, Quenton Nelson just gets a great player. Indy just gets a solid player, being able to protect Andrew Luck. They need that. Now Cleveland coming back, getting Baker Mayfield with the 4th pick. To me, the reason why I'm such a big Baker Mayfield fan is because I want a guy who teammates will run through a wall for him. I think that's what Baker Mayfield is. He's Drew Brees to me. No, he doesn't have the arm strength of a Josh Allen, but his anticipation, his football smarts, his football IQ, his football swagger. He needs to tone it down a bit, but you think about a guy who he just has that desire to win. Whereas when you look at Josh Rosen, you don't really see it. That's why I have him going to the Jets, because they're a bad franchise and he's kind of a know-it-all, but does he really love football? I'm not high on Josh Rosen. I'm very high on Baker Mayfield. I think that Cleveland can knock this draft out the park, getting him and Saquon. Those are 2 picks for me. Tampa Bay coming back, getting Bradley Chubb, great player. Now, here's a guy who jumped for me, Will Hernandez. I had Will Hernandez to Dallas early on in one of my early mocks. Then I see him move at the combine. This guy has checked off box after box after box. To me, it's Quenton Nelson 1, Will Hernandez 1A, and Isaiah Wynn 1B. These old linemen, if you watch the combine and you're really like a football nerd like me, these old linemen were phenomenal. I mean, you could even throw in James Daniels from Iowa. I mean, listen, the way that they moved, the smoothness in which they moved. If you want to help Jameis out, protect him. They got Ali Marpet. Put Will Hernandez on the other side. Go play football. Heading down, San Francisco gets Roquan Smith. I think that's a very good pick for them. Oakland gets Tremain Edmonds. Been very high on him. Let's jump down to Washington. They get Vita Vea, a guy who can come in, plug up the middle, free up Zach Brown. The Skins have to fix their defense. Derwin James was still on the board here, but I just didn't see a safety there. I think that if Vita's on the board still, I think that pick makes a lot of sense for Washington. Now it's getting closer to the Cowboys pick, and Derwin James is still available, but we'll see what happens here. Not Isaiah Oliver. That was on my old mock. I had Jaire Alexander going to Green Bay. I love Jaire Alexander, and I like him in the return game as well. I think that you just see a guy who is just feisty. Now, he's smaller, but him and Denzel Ward are very small. But you just see a guy who's just extremely, extremely feisty. Oh, I want to go back to my Denver pick as well. I had Denver taking Denzel Ward. I just think they get a good football player there. Arizona gets Connor Williams. Baltimore, Calvin Ridley. When you think about Baltimore, Alabama, they've always been in connection. Ozzie Newsome is retiring, but I'm sure that the family tree will continue to grow there. And they need a receiver. They need a guy who can help Joe Flacco out. Just a good route runner, can separate, and they just have to address receiver. They just got to keep throwing it at the wall until something sticks. Now let's go to Dallas at 19. For me, this pick makes so much sense. Isaiah Wynn. Now, there's Cowboys fans out there who will say receiver, Christian Kirk. Oh, yeah, and before we talk about Isaiah Wynn, the Chargers did get Derwin James. He almost made it to Dallas. There's a chance he can go top 10. There's a chance he could fall if teams don't know where and how to play him. He's a great football player to me. But you never know. With these defensive coordinators, they get goofy. With these GMs, they get goofy. And this draft is very all over the place. Now, back to Isaiah Wynn and how he makes sense for the Cowboys. I just think Dallas has to get Dak the right help. And in helping Dak with this pick, you can help Zeke. I think he instantly comes in, is better than Jonathan Cooper, and if there's any issues with Tyron Smith, he can kick out and you could bring your swing guard in. But you want to make the offense more Dak-friendly, protect him. Flat out, protect him. There was a lot of leakage on that offensive line, and I think that where he's rated, again, 1A Quenton Nelson, 1B Will Hernandez, 1C DF, whatever, Isaiah Wynn. I think if you go back and you watch those Georgia football games and you see Isaiah Wynn clearing holes for Sony Michel, for Nick Chubb, I'm talking about against Alabama. I'm talking about good competition, playing tackle, can move in, can kick in the guard, can get out on the edge, and will stone guys. He had a great combine. He moved well. I think that this pick makes a lot of sense for Dallas. Heading down, I think Buffalo got a good player with Billy Price. The Rams get Harold Landry, eventually replaces Robert Quinn. I think Carolina got a great pick with Christian Kirk. Has a lot of Steve Smith in him. Can do a lot of things after the catch. And then when you come out and you're at the combine and you hear Ronnie Harrison and Minkah Fitzpatrick say that he was their toughest cover, that's a good declaration. Like, that's a good stand for Christian Kirk. So, and then you guys can check out and evaluate the rest of the draft. I think that Philly, however, got the steal of the draft by getting Josh Jackson here in the first round. And just turning over the page to the second round. Actually, it's on my laptop. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, we're back. So, top of the second, obviously DJ Moore. Listen, Cleveland just has to get good football players. So, they got DJ Moore. I think that that's a great pick. He helped himself a lot at the combine with how tall he was. He can come in and be what Corey Coleman was supposed to be. Help whoever's playing quarterback out over there. And then getting Carlton Davis with their third pick in the second round. I think that's huge. Who else got a good player? Chicago got a really good player in Michael Gallup. Denver getting Dallas Goedert. I mean, this draft, the second round is really the sweet spot of this draft. Green Bay getting James Washington. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. The Jets get Hayden Hurst, just a flat-out great tight end. And then, obviously, Dallas coming back in the second, getting the linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch. You see, now, I've been hearing this Brian Urlacher comp. Stop it. But I see a little Sean Lee, and that's just not because he's a white linebacker. He comes, he feels. You're going to get wiped out with Rashaan Evans. You're going to get wiped out with the two early linebackers. So if you can come develop a guy, he takes on blockers well. Another guy to watch at that position is Jack Sitchie. Now, he has a major injury history, but I actually like him a little bit better than Vander Esch. So Pittsburgh gets a good linebacker in Josie Jewell. And then I really like Minnesota getting Holden Hill. So, and before we go, I got to give a special shout out to New England because they obviously drafted Shaquem Griffin. They're the only ones willing to take a chance. And it makes so much sense. Doesn't that just scream a Bill Belichick type pick? He'll know how to use Shaquem. He'll rush him. He'll have him in coverage. He'll have him doing things. And that's just a Patriot way. And you got to think, too, Bill is one of the only GM coaches who can get away with doing things like that because his track record speaks for itself. So let me know what you guys think. It's your boy, Foots the King. If you're new to this channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you've been here, share this video around, chew it up. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.